take a picture.
Nate's doing it right now.
Okay. We've got a huge AFC showdown on our hands on Sunday. Ryan Tannehill and the Titans taking on Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. With more on this matchup, let's send it over and welcome in GMFB Weekends, Mike Garafolo.
The Titans head to Baltimore on Sunday for the first time since going there back in January and upsetting the #1 seeded Ravens in a game in which Derrick Henry ran the ball 30 times a week after he had run it 34 times in a win over the Patriots. And that's the kind of Henry workload that a lot of people are used to. And so folks right now are saying, why isn't he getting the football more? A lot of Titans fans, and maybe even Kyle Brandt, who says, hey, I've got him in the off to the races segment that we've got here. I got to make sure I win this thing. Give Derrick Henry the football more. Well, if you look at it, and when I talk to Titans folks, they kind of mention this, he's right where he should be, and he's on pace to actually shatter last year's mark, which was a career high of 303 carries for him. So it's right where they want Henry to be. Yes, he can't touch the ball 34 times like he did in week 1. That's the point that Ryan Tannehill was trying to convey on Wednesday, but they expect him to get the football more down the stretch, kind of like he did last year, and it's still going to be an offense that runs through Derrick Henry if they have plans on making the postseason. Might need this game against Baltimore if they want to do that.
Lamar started his career with a 21-3 record. He's now just 4-3 in his last 7 games. Time for a little believe it or not. Oh, that could have gone badly.
Cheers. I kind of wished it had.
Do you know how much trouble you would be in if you broke 2 Good Morning Football?
There's only like 7 on Earth.
People come in there with a suit and a handcuff.
What are we thinking? They put those in a safe when
There's only 7 in existence.
Thanks, Garafolo, for all of that. Believe it or not, guys, the Ravens need to win this game to turn their season around.
Yeah, they need to win this game like you said. They've lost 2 out of the last 3. They need to win this game because they need to find a rhythm. They need to win this game because there isn't that many opportunities left. I'm not going to sit there and write them off. They are 2-1 within their division, so let's not panic. But, yeah, they need to figure out who they are because, like I said, right around November, December, this is who you're going to become in the postseason. So the Ravens are wildly inconsistent. Let's see if they can figure it out.
I'll take a line from their foe, Mike Tomlin. The standard is the standard. So if they get to the playoffs and they go 11-5 or they go 10-6 and they lose in the first, like, it's a wasted season. The Ravens, the standard is the standard, and you're coming off an MVP season. They're thinking Super Bowl. So I think this game is huge, Kay. I think if they get run over or they get stopped and they get muzzled in by the Titans defense for the 2nd straight year, especially with the Titans being so bad on defense this year as they've been of recent weeks, I think it's a major indictment on that offense and that offensive coordinator.
That offense has not been the same since the last time they played the Titans. If you believe that the Ravens have changed, like this game, this D started the so-called downfall. This game plan, this everything. Remember when they lost that game in the playoffs and Lamar said afterwards, they caught us by surprise? It was a huge quote at the time. He also said you can't underestimate any team, and that's what we did. We ended up conceding that we didn't think much of the Titans, but we're going to roll all over them. It's because they were rolling all over everyone. There is no sneaking up on them this time. This might as well be a Super Bowl for them. And I'll tell you what, after the Titans, you know who they play next? And it's Pittsburgh. So do not lose this game, because you lose this game, you're actually on the outside looking in of the playoff picture. Like, you move columns over in our playoff picture, lose this one, lose to Pittsburgh. Like, we're not talking about you anymore. Massive game. Massive.
Well, looking further ahead, the Ravens take on the Steelers in a huge Thanksgiving night showdown. I do believe this week the Steelers take on the Jags. Pittsburgh, of course, undefeated, repping them. And they had some things to say. We don't have the sound, but I'm going to ask you guys, believe it or not, the Steelers learned their lesson about underestimating teams after what was a very close call, almost losing to Gilbert a couple of weeks ago in that Cowboys game.
I don't think that they needed to learn that lesson. I think that was a really strange anomaly game against a quarterback who no one had ever heard of before and on the road. Trap game, no. I think trap game is college stuff, maybe high school stuff, especially Mike Tomlin. I think they got a scare, yes, but they are still the class of the whole conference, and I think they'll be good to go.
Listen, I feel like when it comes to the Steelers, everything that Mike Tomlin is selling, I'm buying. So he's talking to these guys. Of course, there's a certain standard. The only thing perfect is a record. But the motivation that they have is not like, oh, we need to stay undefeated. I think the one thing that they're doing that they will have the rest of the season is they're having more fun than anybody.